Afternoon. I wanted to show some ways that I did plant stands differently configured than they were meant to be, and it seems to be working really well for me. This is just an Amazon plant stand. We all know, we all have them, or a lot of us do. And it's a 30-inch wide, 5-shelf high plant stand that I did not put together as intended. I took one shelf completely off, and I made it so that unfortunately these two shelves on the one side are higher than the other two shelves, but that's okay. It gives me a little more growing space on that side. And at first I put a shelf on the very bottom. That was a mistake. It's too hard to clean between the wires, so better to just set the plants down on my cabinet. And so being that it had an extra shelf, I utilized that in a different way. So hold on, I'll be right back to where that plant stand is. Hold on. Okay, this is I can't see if I can get it all in there. It's 4 foot wide and it's about 6 foot tall closet organizer. And I did not put the hanging rails in it because I figured for the plants that hang, I can just use those little S hooks and hang them up on the wires instead of having the rail hang down further and take up more hanging space. So I did put some plants up on top, and they seem to be getting good enough light to be happy up there from the window. It's an east window. But my hack on this one really is I took that extra plant stand shelf from the living room plant stand, and I used the brackets that were supposed to hold the hanging rod, the lower hanging rod, and I used, let's see if you can see it, I used hose clamps to hose clamp them onto these cross pieces that were there. There's one on either side. And I had to do it that way because the shelf that I was using is only like 14 inches wide, and the shelves on this closet organizer, I believe, are 18 inches wide. So there's that hack on that, and that gave me the ability to put a plant underneath the shelf that a couple tall plants are on with hanging plants above. I'm just trying to get every inch of space I can on these plant stands. Okay, and I've got one more to show you, and I'll be right back. Well, two, I guess. I'll be right back. Okay, and another plant stand that I bought. It's the same 30-inch 5-shelf chrome plant stand, Amazon again. And yes, my microwave's in my laundry room. Yeah, well, that's how I use it. Anyway, I decided to split this stand in half and have two sections of it, and I'll show you the other part in a minute. The taller plants, see, I have a vaulted ceiling there, and so having that lower shelf, I can put those taller plants up on there, and then the shelf below I'm kind of using for propagations. And I mean, this isn't really a display. It's a east facing window in the door in this space, and I put the mosaic glass on there for privacy and so then I'm going to just walk into the living room or the kitchen and show you what I did with the other half of that plant stand. On the top shelf is a Jungle Boogie and a Dracaena, and that Jungle Boogie is ginormous now, and it's in a great big canning kettle, like maybe 14 inches across. And I didn't mind it taking up my kitchen counter, but it was spreading out so much I was starting to run into it when I walked by the end of the counter. So anyway, this works really good. I put a clamp light up on the top of my parrot cage to shine down, give it a little extra light. And down the road, I'd like to put some more of those long they're just lights. They're not really grow lights, but they have a 6500K I don't know, brightness in them. They're really good. Plants seem to like them. So And again, I still have an extra shelf that eventually I can do something else with if when I come up with that. I don't have any extra legs for it, but I have the extra shelf. And then finally, the last plant stand, I'll try to walk slow enough to cats everywhere, sorry. This one is a 36-inch wide. Gosh, I can't really get to it. Let me go to the other side. Look out, Jax. Okay, maybe that's better. Okay, this is 36 inches wide, and it's a 4-shelf stand, and again, I just have 3 of the 4 shelves on there because that gives me more growing height between the shelves for the bigger plants. And anyway, there's not much of a hack on that, except for because the legs are shorter. I didn't have a place to hang plants on the corners, which I do like to do on my plant stands. So now this time I just used some, scavenged pieces from an Easy Up that, everybody gets in their yard and the wind blows them over and they get all bent up. Well, I pick them up at the dump and take them apart, and I use those rails for all kinds of things. And again, hose clamps, and trying to get that leaf out of the way, to hold it on there. I had to put 2 of them to keep it from, twisting. And then I just hooked the plant hook up in the top. And then I'm running out of clamp length, so I just used a lot of wide tape and taped it to the bracket that I had the clamp light hanging on. I wanted to get that raised up a little bit, and I needed to rob the clamp light. I'll show you why. This is where my ring light did not work for me, and so now I'm utilizing the parrot cage to hold my plant light, or my video light, and then there is my little tripod that my phone hooks to. And so another hack, use what you've got. So, okay, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Bye now.